Here is the trades for Tuesday, April 15th. I took one break-even trade before I started recording. The first one, we're looking at Mura. Mura is up 150%, had a little higher float. I think it was like 18 million shares or something. This is just after the market opens. First 1 minute candle breaks by just a penny there. So here's a new one. I'm looking at this. The high of the candle before is 260. I'm looking for the break of 261. There it is. It pops back down, and then I get in. I was a little bit too slow. So I'm in at 259, looking for the break of the first 1 minute candle. It goes up just a penny and rejects. I really should just have popped out right here. But the stock had news, lower float. It was looking all right. So I watch it. It comes back down, but it holds 50. So that gives me the confidence to hold it for a little bit longer. I'm in at 259. It's just bouncing around. 253, 256. That would have been a spot to get out. This is bearish right now. It broke by like a cent or two, came way back down. There I get a stop order in. Looking at this, what are some of the clues that would have made you guess if it would have made that first 1 minute candle to break a new high? The topping tail on this 5 minute is probably the biggest one. Volume's good there. Higher volume red on the pullback, not as high as the move up. MACD is open, but it's slowly closing. There is some resistance on the daily. It looks like the 50 EMA is right around where I am. But it's holding 50, so I hold on to it for just a second. You see some green on the tape there, but it doesn't break. Probably some hidden sellers. Then I just dump out at, $2.52, $17 loss. 7-cent loss, that's not bad. Took a shot at that first 1 minute candle, didn't work out. Looking back on it, that topping tail was probably the biggest signal that wasn't the best trade. Higher red volume right there too. So then we move on to Sky. Sky has, it's a biotech, has news on a new drug. Halted at showing 250 at the open. We're 6 seconds to the open here. That's a big gap up. I got an order at 265. Just was too slow. Wasn't quite ready, I guess. So there it opens at 16. Opens below the high at 250. Like when it's breaking 250, would have been the spot to jump in. There it goes right through 250 to 255. All green on the tape. Should have been in there, probably with 500 shares. Straight to 70. Pulls back a little bit, straight up to the halt there. To watch that whole move again in slow motion. It opens below 250. The break of 250 was the spot to get in. Goes right to 255 there from 249. So that 249, if you could have got in there, but all green on the tape, like even at 255 was a good entry. Would have went straight up to 70. Little hesitation at 72. Could have bought as it breaks back through 72 there. That's another spot to add. Right up to the halt up, 288. So if you would have been at 255 to 288, it's 33 cents. If you're in with 500 shares, that is what, 30 cents is $150, and you could have held into this halt. I try to buy into this halt just as it's closing. Sometimes you can get a couple hundred shares, not often. But I felt confident that this would have moved higher. Halts at 288, showing 316. So here we are coming into when this halt opens, showing 316 open. High is 288. So there it opens right at 325. up to 329, dips down. Down in this dip could have been a buy spot, closer to 3, would have to hold 3. So like right around 310, 315 would have been a good buy, and then stop it, hard stop at $3 or just before, 305. So if you were in at 315, I try to buy. Ooh, what did I just do there? We'll watch that again. The first dip was down by like 315-ish. So there it's down. When you start seeing, there's some green on the tape. Big seller as it broke through that seller, like right around here would have been a good buy. I'm watching as it breaks back through 329. So as it's hitting there, I got an order at 332, but it doesn't pick up. It goes right through, which is too bad. 339 up to 344. Another place you could get in, but it's getting riskier after 2 halts, and it's going straight up, would be to buy the break at 350 here. It could have been in there to 359. Then you start seeing these sellers come in. That's a probably big sign that this is going to be hitting the top. Goes up back through 50 through those sellers to 370. Now it's looking bullish again, but it's too high. Where do you get in here? Could have been around 350. 380 is the halt level. 373 it touches, and it comes back down. Big sellers again. This would have been a time to know that it was probably done. Big sellers, 350 in the 47s. Big sellers again. Should never have bought where I did. Those sellers push it down to a low into the 10s. Then it kind of bounces back up and holds for a second. Goes back down to a low of like 311-ish. Comes back up again. So it keeps bouncing up. I think there's some green on the tape. I think it's bottoming out. It's going to go back up. And it does go back up a little bit. Some big sellers there. I got to stop in right away. 15 cents below the bid. Or below the ask. Below my position, I should say. 15 cents below my position. There it's coming up again. Big seller at 30, but it breaks through all the way up to 40. Really should have took profit here. But you're seeing some green. There isn't big sellers coming in. Gets up to 40, 42, 43. That right there was my best shot. I should have sold there. At 341 would have got 13 cents with 500 shares. Is 13 times 5 is 65 bucks. Big seller comes in. I should be selling here. And I'm screwing around with my stop order for some reason, trying to bring it up because I think it could keep going higher. But with those sellers before, and even now, you can see bigger sellers coming in. I should have sold broke even there. Back up to 30. Should be getting out there. Not a lot of green on the tape. Little burst. 65, 40. Back to 40 again. I should be getting out here. Especially after it doesn't break. That's where I should definitely be out. Bigger seller. Should be out here. But my stop orders are kind of screwing up. I don't know what's going on with them. I'm down 115 bucks all of a sudden. Seeing a big seller there at 20-ish. I should be selling here. 320 should be out there. It's easy to look back now when you can stop it. But when this is happening, it all happens pretty quick. Gotta get out if it breaks 3, but it pops back up. I really should be getting out here. This is right at the point. If it breaks 3, it's going to flush to 275. Touching back to 3 again. Should have been out a long time ago. Comes back up below VWAP now. As you're watching the chart, it's below VWAP. Higher red selling on those 2 1-minute candles. Huge topping tail on the 5. MACD is still open. Coming up to the 200 EMA on the daily. Way more bullish or bearish sentiment than bullish in this right now. Looking for one more little jump upwards towards VWAP, 15, 16, 17. Some green on the tape. It's not really breaking though. Some sellers hit 320 there. And I bail at 314. 14 cents loss on 500 shares. Should have had that a lot tighter. Should have sold for a little bit of profit, but I was being greedy. Thought it might have went more. Those big sellers gave it away. But anyways, those are the trades for today. Ended up minus 84 bucks. Quit there for the day. It was a slow day. And that's where we're at.